Thanks very much. Let's check in now with WSBT-22's Kristen Bain. She's live at the West Side Democratic Club.
Kristen, they're already preparing there.
Yeah, that's right. The sausage arrived at 5 o'clock. Senator Joe Donnelly was here. He signed for that sausage. I can smell it. It's in there. It's cooking. It'll be ready when everyone gets here to eat and enjoy. But we're also talking politics. Dyngus Day is about getting the candidates and the politicians together with the people so they can talk about the issues that matter. This morning, we're here with Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who you've been here smelling all of this goodness, too. You've got a busy day ahead.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, this is a day that really brings elected officials and members of the community together. I think we really believe in accessible politics, accountable politicians. And so even though it's a day of fun and celebration, it's also a day when people can grab a hold of us and talk to us about things that are important. And it's just such a unique South Bend. I mean, where else do you have a U.S. Senator ceremonially signing an order for hundreds of pounds of sausage? I try to explain this to people who aren't from South Bend, and I still haven't figured out how to explain Dyngus Day, Solidarity Day, and all the celebrations that we have.
Let's talk about some politics. You and I were talking earlier. You're closely watching road funding bills in the legislature. What are you looking for in particular, and how could this potentially benefit South Bend?
This is a big deal for our community. People don't realize a lot of the funding for our local roads and streets actually comes from the state. And so it's up to Indianapolis to decide how much mayors like me and our city administrations get to work with. Now, I think if you've been driving in South Bend, you know that it's pothole season. We're racing to do the patching and the paving as best we can, but frankly, we're behind. It is not possible with the funding that we now get to do the paving that we want to do. And so there are intense negotiations this very week in Indianapolis. There's a House bill. I've actually crossed party lines to support a House Republican bill that's going to bring a lot of funding. The Senate version has much less funding. And so those negotiations between the House members and the senators could really affect how smooth it's going to be to drive in South Bend in the years to come. We're hoping anybody who cares about the condition of our roads will call your legislator, tell them you want to make sure that there's adequate road funding for cities around Indiana, including ours.
Another issue you're looking at is an ordinance issue that would affect landlords and nuisance properties.
That's right. Here in South Bend, we have a rule that holds landlords accountable if there are chronic issues on their property, if police are being called again and again for these nuisance calls. And state legislators, for some reason, are thinking about taking that away. There's a very strong lobby that's very influential in Indianapolis, but if we lose that accountability for the landlords, it's going to be a lot harder for us to keep our neighborhoods safe, clean, and livable. And so we're asking legislators again to pay attention to the cities and towns that are asking to make these decisions here at home instead of having them made for us in the state capitol.
Mayor Pete, thank you for taking some time to talk with us this morning. You're very busy today. You're going to rename some streets later this morning, I think 11 and 11:30.
That's
here
right.
in the
Always
area.
the ceremonial renaming, Dyngus Day and Solidarity Day Drive, and we'll be all out and about. There's so many places to enjoy and celebrate this day.
Have a wonderful day. Bob and Leanne.